Hello, and welcome back to the In the Eyes of Terror occultic review. Today I am doing the Luciferian Apothecary out of Spring, Texas. It is partially owned by Michael W. Ford, and it's just a small little place, and their website is is easy to get around. I've had some issues, but we'll talk about that at the end of the video. So let's get into the review. Today, the first item we're reviewing is the Behemoth Queen Father of Wisdom Incense Sticks. It reads, Luciferian Initiate is the self-transformative demonic work of the Black Adept via infernal union of the Leviathan, Samael, Lilith to create Cheo, the beast, Cain, the awakened. So these are sticks. You can also buy these in cones. So just your traditional stick incense. It's got a nice smell to it, and I use these for writing spell work. And also the website says this. Oh well. I said the exact same thing that I just read from this. I thought there was more to it. Sorry. Alright, the next item is the Marbus Healing Crystal. I personally like this one because it's unrefined. You can still see the cuts, and it's not too terribly tumbled. So, and I like the inner sort of cut design that happened. I think it's unique. And it's quite large, so it fits nicely in my hand. I won't forget it in my pocket and put it through the washer. This is the tag that it came with, and I'll read that. It also has this sigil on it. So it reads, Marbus Healing Crystal. This gemstone has been cleansed and reconsecrated to Marbus, the fifth spirit of the Gotha. This crystal under the patronage of Marbus and his 36 legions. Let's reread that. Marbus Healing Crystal. This gemstone has been cleansed and reconsecrated to Marbus, the fifth spirit of the Gotha. This crystal under the patronage of Marbus and his 36 legions of spirits is empowered to assist in healing physical, emotional, and mentally. To use this healing crystal, simply carry it with you throughout your day, holding it in your hand when you need to focus towards healing or when your thoughts are troubled. And this is the Marbus Healing Crystal. The third item is the Red Smudge Stick. It is dragon's blood and white sage infused. So it's just the base is white sage with dragon blood resin. It has quite a pungent smell that is quite pleasant. And as you can see, it's quite stiff. I would definitely keep it in the bag for the remnants, and just it helps dampens the smell so it doesn't over. Alright, now I will be using my little cauldron I bought from Amazon to be going through some of these herbs, and I'll be reading what they're supposed to do, so bear with me. Alright. So our first item is wormwood. Now I would definitely, with these thinner bags, find another bag to put these in, or a container. So I'm searching for a good container to put all of my herbs in. And also they don't constantly get smashed and turned into so that is what wormwood looks like. Trying to find the right position, so that's why this phone is here. So wormwood is supposed to help with psychic powers, protection, love, calling spirits, summoning the dead, and help in dreams. You burn it in incense. It's infused with magical element. When Saturn is placed in waxing moon, should be waning. Wormwood burnt to summon spirits. A balsam for wrath and revenge, and induce psychic powers. Placing wormwood in the path of a hated one will come. Placing wormwood in the path of a hated one will cause them bad luck. Do not ingest or make into essential oil. You do not know what you are doing. Poisonous in large quantities. So definitely do not ingest if you don't know what you're doing with this stuff. So that is wormwood. Now, most of the stuff I got from the internet, and I'm also getting a book on herbal magic and the sort of the dark powers of herbs, so that will be coming. And the website does state other things, so I just wrote for my own references. Alright. The next up is Asphotia. Asphotia. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. This does contain sulfur, and it has a baneful and a good side. Oh, this is 12 ounces. The wormwood was 12 ounces. Baneful is heightens baneful magic, burnt as an offering in order to get dark entities, deities to your to do your bidding. Brings visions, protects, repels. Use in hex breaking spell and other magical uses. You could also use it in purification rites and breakthrough with spell work. And this has a very pungent odor to it. So obviously when you do this type of stuff, do your own research. There's multiple sources out there for exactly what you want to use, and obviously read about the health before ingesting or making into tea or soup or anything like that. So it almost has like a celery sulfuric smell to it. It's quite unique. to get all the air out of it. Alright. Next up is Arnica. This one definitely keep in a bag because the bag that it came in, I think it got a small hole or something, and it's starting to get everywhere. So I really don't want to open it up. I'm going to anyway. They do package these really well. I can't complain about that. And this is 1 ounce. There's Arnica. And is supposed to, for protection from spirits and to keep unwanted visitors, deviants away from your home. Boil flowers in tea and sprinkle it across old door frames and window panes. Do not use internally. Let me clean out this. I'll tell you what, that powder does stay in your nose for quite a while. Whew, clears up the sinuses. Alright. Up next is Devil's Claw root. This is in 1. Place in doorways to prevent unwanted people. Burn to create a sacred space for rituals, and use to move into a new home and remove remaining residual energies in the house. With the darker side, it hexes enemy and brings bad luck, misfortune, and suffering. Protection, carry it in a grist bag for protection from negativity. So this is And then up next is White Willow, 1 ounce. It is a bark. And the inscriptor reads, what it's used for is spells and rituals of healing, as well as binding. White oak bark is brewed in tea to take jinxes out of people, and can be bathed in. Also, you can bathe in it, and rubbing vigorously from neck downwards while chanting, and then air dry without a towel. So that's how you remove a jinx with white willow. And our final herb is Damanian, 1 ounce, and use tea or smoke before ritual when an altered state of consciousness is involved. Can be used in lucid dreaming and in love spells. It's got quite a nice smell to it, and I do think this one is banned in Louisiana. So, this herb is banned in Louisiana. Just fair warning to anybody from Louisiana. So that's all the herbs. And then I have this Saturnus spell powder. Give me a second. And it reads demonic evocation, ritual workings of types involving spirit energies, composed of ground serpent skin, toad, and other herbs. I don't know if you can see that in here. It sort of blends in, it looks like. So it's got a very earthy tone to it. And on the package here it says burn over charcoal and invocation of demonic spirits and specific chthonic underworld rituals. Do not ingest, contain sulfur. Ideal ceremony evocation of such power. Deities masked as the 7 evil gods of Mascium, Hell, Demogorgon, Mephistopheles, and such. And I love the and such. I don't know why. So that's all of the powders and herbs. I also got 2 kits. And the first kit is a spell kit. It's a binding spell kit. There we go. That's the word. Right. So the instructions on the back says write name and Azazel triangle, light charcoal and burn incense powder to light candle, anoint oil to neck and triangle, tie knot in cord 6 times, binding recite spell and wrap cord around triangle, exhausting around triangle, extinguish candle and place on altar. So let's see what's inside of this kit. So we have binding incense, and this is a loose powder, and it does have a charcoal disc, and the powder is black, so I don't know if it's going to show up real well. It's got a nice smell to it. It's actually quite light. Yeah, it's a very light, almost citronella-y smell. So at least it will keep the bugs away this summer. It also comes with instructions, incantation, and the circle. And the paper is meant to look like parchment, but it's a little bit thicker than office paper. It's okay. It's okay. The string is quite a sturdy string. A black candle, and just a cotton wick. Disc charcoal. Now this disc charcoal, you could buy disc charcoal for about $3 at your local smoke shop, 3 to 5, and you need to get the hookah style, because this charcoal is not like grilling charcoal. So this is safe to do indoors compared to, now I don't suggest closing yourself up and smoking a hookah. You definitely need ventilation, but this is safer than using charcoal grill. Grill charcoal. There we go. That was, and then the binding oil. And it's still bound, and I don't want to open it so it doesn't leak all over the place. So, but I imagine it's sort of the same smell as that incense. I believe this actually had a crystal in it, but I think my daughter confiscated it for her own personal usage. So there is that. But it was just a clear quartz. It was nothing special. It was relatively small, so. And then the other kit is the elimination ritual of the demon Luciferian. So let's see what's in this kit. Again, instructions, double-sided, the sigils, what you're supposed to say, and more sigil artwork. And again, it's that sort of sturdy office paper that is meant to look like parchment. So, again, even Michael W. Ford has said that, you know, make what works for you. So, you know, it's just a framework. Another black candle, because this is supposed to be done over a series of days. I think this one had a crystal in it. Yeah, this one had the crystal daughter walked off with. So. And then it has also cone incense, and I think it's a total of like 7 in here. So that's the cone incense. It's got a nice sort of woodsy, masculine smell. And it also comes with a sort of like a cone tray. I would definitely get something a little bit more sturdier than that. So the kits were a little bit more expensive. The herbs run about $3 to $8. The kits between 20 and 30, if I believe correctly, which is reasonable for what you get in them for the most part. I got these mostly for my daughter, and so she has nothing, and we're starting our own collection, you know, our own kits and stuff like that. So and I also got a hardback book, The Luciferian Witchcraft by Michael W. Ford. I don't know if you really can see it. And it reads, "This is the forbidden grimoire of the left-handed path. There is power for those willing to drink from the cup of the beast and his bride, creating the body as a temple. Herein is the path as walked by one who seeks to reveal the true path of Ahariman and Loth-Az, to manifest in flesh the spirit of Azizi, the Haka, and the Cain. Some call this chaos magic. It unites all cultures and their adversary. Herein is magic from the foundation to higher pathworks of sorcery and black magic. Michael W. Ford, an adept in the ways of Luciferian witchcraft, presents here the works which burn away the modern whitewashing of so-called magic or witchcraft. Contained herein are the rituals of Lucifer, ancient Persian sorcerer, ancient Persian sorcery in a modern perspective, Gothic magic, as well as the forbidden sex magic tome Aduma." So, and this was $37. I know with every author, everybody is, I'm willing to read through, you know, I read a lot of occultic texts, so, and I make my own path, so definitely give this a read. and if you're interested, I will give my review on it. It says Luciferian Witchcraft, The Room of the Serpent by Michael W. Ford, 3rd Trade Edition, Succubus Publishing, Houston, Texas. It was published in 2009. And the contents are Diabolus, the Dragon Within the Triangle of Darkness, an exploration of the adversary within magic, and then breaks down into Set, Ahriman, the adversary of the bride of the devil, the Gnostic Haltabut, child of chaos, the path of the crooked serpent, Leviathan and Beelzebub, Tiamat, Pazuzu, and Moloch. Chapter 2, The Grimoires of Luciferian Witchcraft, the Book of Cain, Voxabotum, Gotic Sorcery, the Luciferian Gota, the Toad Rite. Chapter 3, Persian Sorcery, Yuktikan Amharic Witchcraft, and then Yatik Dunhani, the Patashia Nox Umbra. Chapter 4, Sethanic and Angelic Magic, Azoth, the Shattered Ones, the Angelic Watchers, the Grimoire of Sutake, Admu, the Forbidden Sex Magic, and a glossary. And total, the book is 539 pages and some note pages. So there is that. Growing my collection and of text, and so the piece of resistance to this whole thing is my new grimoire, which is a leathered bound notebook. It has the behemoth goat head on it on both sides. It looks like it is oxblood red leather dye, and then I always love these little hinges, and then inside has this flap. It has another tooling, and the paper feels like homemade, and it's quite thick, and it looks like you could add to it also. So yeah, this was about $37, I believe, but it was worth it. It's genuine leather, and it's not that weird leather that you get at like for a journal or anything that's sort of puffy. So alright, so with all that said and done, give me a second. So I'll give my final thoughts. With all that said and done, will I shop again at the Luciferian Apothecary? Probably, just not in the amount that I did. Now, they do have a free shipping for orders over $150. I reached that, but I had the money to do it at the time, and I needed to get a lot of stuff that they had. I am missing one item from this, and that is my Vervian herb, and that was one of the more expensive ones. I have contacted the company. They have yet to reach back to me about it. I've actually contacted them twice. So, and from other people, I have heard that this is sort of a standard that you don't hear much from the company at all, but they do, every time that they process your order, and stuff like that, they do send you an email of order being processed and things like that. So I do appreciate that. It does go through their credit card. They do offer money order, like you can mail in a money order. So that's one payment. Another way to pay is obviously online, and that goes through, I think, Shopify. So it goes through a secure site. So I do appreciate that too. And like I said, the only reason there's a little question I have is because of my Vervian, but I think it just got checked off because they use the old check system, and I've done that when I used to work in a warehouse, and sometimes you lose track and you accidentally check the wrong item off, or somehow it doesn't get into the container. So I'm a little, that's the only sort of irritation. The book was shipped separately, and I wasn't informed on that shipping date either. So those are like really two complaints I have. Their website is a little hard to get around to some extent, especially with like the incense and stuff. I wish they would just have like a radial compared to a drop down, because like on the incense you have different types of incense. They give a descriptor, and then but they have like one drop down for that, and then they have another drop down if you want incense or cones. And I wish it was just a radial for that, a radial menu compared to a drop down. They also have a Rude Awakening mystery box that I'm thinking about getting, and if you'd like to see that, definitely link below. And it's not too terribly expensive, but if you like to sort of speed up that process, we do have a PayPal, and if you want to send money to speed that up, definitely. And then I would literally do an unboxing of that, cutting it open and everything. I just wanted to make sure this stuff was all in my box, what I ordered and what condition it was in, before doing this and writing down certain things. So that was why I didn't cut the box open. But I probably will order from them again. I have found another company that deals mostly in herbs, and that is the Lucky Magic Mojo shop out of California. And I will be, I put an order in there. I should be receiving it in the next 2 weeks. So let's see what that is. But I will probably order other things through the apothecary that are not herbs, depending on quality. But the reason why I ordered my herbs through them, for both of these sites, was because I don't need a mass amount of herbs. So a lot of times you could go on Amazon and you could get like large amounts of herbs, and I don't need that much. And then on top of it, a lot of herbs that are sold through Amazon also have shipping costs on top of it. So you could get the Vervian or whatever for $2.99, but have a $5 shipping cost on it. So I waited out everything, and again, this is pure herbs. A lot of times I'm a little leery of stuff that is sold on Amazon when it comes to herbs and things like that, especially if I can't track it back to a company. So those are my final thoughts on the Luciferian Apothecary. I probably will order from them again. I had, it's just those two things. The lack of communication really sort of bothers me, and that missing item. But it is what it is. All right. Till next time, I will scare you later.